I knew breaking up with Emily wouldn't go smoothly. She wasn't exactly the most stable person when we were together, but I didn't expect it to turn into this. We dated for about a year. Things started off fine. She was fun, unpredictable, a little intense. The kind of intensity you ignore at first because it feels flattering, like someone's obsessed with you in a good way. But over time, it changed. She'd text me dozens of times a day if I didn't respond fast enough, show up at my job without warning, get angry if I spent too much time with friends or even my mom. When I ended it, she cried so hard I thought she might throw up. Then she laughed. Then she begged. Then she whispered something I'll never forget. If I can't be near you the way I want, I'll find other ways. I blocked her on everything, changed my locks, even moved apartments across town. I didn't want revenge or drama. I just wanted distance. It worked for a while. A month passed. Then I started getting calls at night. No one said anything, just breathing. I ignored it. Then came the texts. New number, no name, all lowercase. Miss you, still mine. Do you think about me when you sleep? I deleted them, blocked the number, again and again. They just kept changing. One night I got 27 texts in a row, all blank. I told myself it couldn't be her. I wanted to believe it was just a sick prank, someone who found my number somehow. Then I got home one night and found my bedroom window cracked open. I live on the 3rd floor. I locked it every morning, every single morning. And it wasn't just open. The screen was pushed out. There were faint smudges on the sill, like small handprints. I slept on the couch that night with a knife under the pillow. The next morning, I checked everything. Nothing else seemed off. I convinced myself it was stress. Maybe I forgot to lock it once, but 3 nights later, I heard it. Around 2 a.m., breathing. Not a phone this time, not imagined, real. On the other side of my bedroom window. I sat up in bed, barely breathing myself. The lights were off. My blinds were mostly closed, but I could see the silhouette. Someone was standing outside my window. Again, 3rd floor. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight, aiming it straight at the window. Gone, just like that. No noise, no footsteps, like she disappeared into the brick. I didn't sleep. I filed a police report the next day. They were polite, but clearly didn't care much. No damage, no forced entry. Could have been a trick of the light, they said. I was losing it. I felt it. But then I found something that made it real. In my bathroom drawer, the one I hadn't touched in weeks, there was a ring, her ring. Small, silver, chipped on one edge. She used to wear it every day. I remember because she used to twist it when she was nervous. I threw that ring in a donation box when I moved, and now it was sitting in my drawer. I started locking every door and window religiously after the ring incident. Deadbolt, chain. I even pushed a chair under the doorknob when I slept. I didn't care if it made me look paranoid. I was paranoid, but that didn't stop it. The next thing I noticed was the food. It started small, a granola bar missing. Then a yogurt cup I knew I hadn't eaten. One day I bought a frozen pizza and put it in the freezer. That night it was gone. I live alone. I convinced myself I was distracted, forgetful, stressed. Maybe I threw it out by mistake. But I knew better. Then it got worse. One day I came home from work and the shower was wet. The curtain was pulled differently than I'd left it. The mat was damp. There was steam on the mirror. It was faint, like it had dried hours ago, but it was there. And then I smelled it. Her perfume. Emily used to wear this awful sugary scent. It was like rotting cotton candy. I hated it. I hadn't smelled it in weeks, until that moment. I walked through the apartment like I was holding my breath underwater. Nothing. No one in the kitchen, no one in the closets, no signs of forced entry, just silence. And that cloying floral rot of a perfume that shouldn't exist anymore. I called the police again. Same story. No break-in, no damage, nothing they could do. They probably thought I was having some kind of breakdown. And maybe I was. But then came the photo. I was scrolling through my camera roll late at night, looking for a receipt when I saw it. A photo I didn't take. It was of me, sleeping, from the foot of the bed. I dropped the phone, the angle, the timing, the lighting. It was from inside my room the night before. I live alone, no tripod, no timer, no explanation. That same night I got a call, unknown number. I didn't answer, but a voicemail came through. I listened with shaking hands. It was silence, then a whisper. "I'm closer than you think." That was it. I slept in my car that night. The next day I did what I should have done weeks ago. I bought a cheap motion-activated camera and stuck it in the hallway outside my bedroom. It pointed straight at the door. If she came in again, or whatever was doing this, I'd have proof. I stayed up all night watching it. Nothing. Until 4:13 a.m. That's when the video file cut in. I didn't even see her walk in. The door never opened. She was just there, standing in front of my bedroom door, wearing the same hoodie she always wore when we'd stay in, barefoot, hair hanging forward. She didn't move. She just stood there for 10 minutes. Then she tilted her head violently like a puppet and whispered, "You look so peaceful when you're quiet." Then she walked out of frame. Slowly, calmly, but the door never opened, and I never heard a thing. I didn't sleep for 2 days after seeing that hallway footage. I deleted it, re-watched it, re-downloaded it from the cloud, and stared at it frame by frame. She was there. She looked alive, real. But how the hell did she get in? How did she leave? I checked every inch of the apartment. The windows were locked. The front door still chained. I even taped threads over the doorways to see if anything was moving while I was gone. Nothing. That night I dreamed of her standing at the foot of my bed again, but when I woke up the hallway was empty. At least, that's what I thought. Later that day I was cleaning behind the couch when I found it. A small, square latch in the floor. I'd never noticed it before. It blended into the hardwood like it wasn't meant to be found. A crawl space. I hesitated. Everything in my body told me not to open it. But I had to know. I pulled it up. It creaked like something that hadn't been touched in years. The air that came out was warm and sour. I grabbed a flashlight and pointed it inside. At first I saw insulation, pipes, dust. Then I saw something else, a blanket, a water bottle, an empty takeout container. Someone had been living in there. I slammed it shut and called the police again. This time, they took me seriously. They searched the crawl space, found more signs of someone staying there. Wrappers, an old hoodie, my hoodie. No person. They told me to stay with someone, change the locks again, maybe even move. I stayed at a friend's for a few nights. It felt safe, normal. Then I got the email. No subject line, no sender, just one image. It was me, sleeping, again. But this time I wasn't in bed. I was on the couch, at my friend's place. She had followed me. I moved out the next day, new city, new job, new phone. I changed everything. Months passed. I started to feel okay again. I stopped checking behind curtains, stopped sleeping with a knife, until last week. That's when I found the ring again, same one, silver, chipped. This time it was in my bathroom sink. That night, I heard something scratching behind the wall. I sat on the floor and put my ear to it, and I heard her voice. "You said you'd love me forever." I didn't scream, I didn't run, I just sat there, shaking, listening to her breathing behind the drywall. She's still there. I don't know how, I don't know why, but she's still here, and she's waiting for me to say it back.